Welcome to the Knoxville Quarterback Club show. I'm Jeff Haygood, and today we're pleased you're with us to honor high school football players and their coaches and those who serve the game of football in our region. We hope you'll enjoy today's speaker. All of us who follow Tennessee football and college football are fired up about what we're going to hear. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Gene Wojciechowski is a University of Tennessee graduate who used his reading and writing and arithmetic skills to go on to great things. Gene is one of the premier writers in all of America today. He lives out on the West Coast. You see him at least, is it every day or is it every other day, on Around the Horn, one of those ESPN shows that Gene and two or three of those cats weigh in heavily on and everybody watches. They tell me that Around the Horn, is that right, was second behind Monday Night Football as the most watched show about football. He is the guy that's got his finger on the pulse of college football. So let's give a real warm welcome to one of our own, Tennessee's Gene Wojciechowski.
I applaud you guys for coming out here today, kind of a somewhat rainy day, and I was thinking of a story that Lou Holtz used to tell all the time. And he would talk about the kamikaze pilot who came home alive from his mission. And he said, you know, that pilot, he was interested, but he wasn't committed. So I know it's hard right now to be a UT football fan, and you folks are more than interested, you're committed. I was at the game Saturday, and I was walking around, and I had some friends who were tailgating, and they had a little two-man band there, a local band. And the band apparently wanted to be kamikaze pilots, had death wishes, started to play Sweet Home Alabama. And a guy from the UT football staff, I will not say his name, but he was walking by, and I swear I thought he was going to kill them. And he said, if you do not quit playing that right now, I will pull the plug from your generator and you will not have a microphone to sing in. I love that. I mean, that guy's committed, right? I've got a way of listing teams, and there's one-quarter teams, there's two-quarter teams, there's three-quarter teams, four-quarter teams, championship teams. I think it's pretty obvious right now UT is a two-quarter team. They play so hard. I mean, I was watching the effort more than anything. I didn't care about the score. I was looking at the effort, and the effort's there. But they just don't have enough players yet. And I think anybody who's followed this program for a long time knows you can always count on Tennessee to have a great wide receiver, really good defensive lineman, offensive lineman, you know, a pro-type secondary guy, a great kicker. And I look at this roster right now and you don't see that, but that doesn't mean help isn't on the way. My brother is in charge of the recruiting section for ESPN.com. And so I called him earlier today and I said, well, I'm talking to the Knoxville Quarterback Club, can you give me some hope? And he goes, heck yeah, we just got the latest rankings in, and right now Tennessee's 24th with a bullet. And they were 9th last year in their rankings. And he said they're really close on a lot of players. Now, things can change. You know how fickle it is. But I think that really speaks to the effort that's going on over in that facility. And I think these coaches are really trying hard. I had lunch with one of the coaches on Friday. And he's excited about what's happening. And, yeah, he understands the limitations right now. I'll never criticize anybody on that team for what's going on right now because I know how hard it is and I know how hard they're playing. But I would say hang in there. And it's easy to, I sat up in the stands for part of the game. I wanted to turn around and just say, you know, do you have any idea who they're playing? That's Alabama. I mean, that's a program that is at a place right now, but it was at a place that Tennessee's at right now. And it just shows that the worm turns. Things happen.
We'd love to have you join us at the Knoxville Quarterback Club. We meet every Monday during the fall at Calhoun's on the River. We honor high school football players and coaches and officials, and we hear great speakers every week. This year you'll hear everybody from Bobby Bowden to Lloyd Carr to Derek Dooley to the ESPN and CBS commentators. It's a lot of fun, great fellowship, and a ton of talk about football. Come join us. Look for information on how to join on the screen below. I look forward to seeing you there.
Jesse Smithy from the Knoxville News Sentinel here with our Offensive Player of the Week, Ryan Ridley of Knoxville Catholic. Ryan, first start at quarterback last Friday night, 12 of 16 passing, over 200 yards, a touchdown through the air and on the ground. You mentioned you were more excited than nervous. How come?
I mean, I've been waiting 3.5 years to start quarterback, and I was just ready to go.
Now, you guys got that big win. You got 1 week left in the season. What do you got coming up, and what's the playoff picture looking like for Catholic?
We got Bearden coming up. We're all really excited for that. A little revenge from last year. We didn't really show up last year, ready to play this year. And we're excited for the playoffs. Don't really know how it's going to be, but we're ready for whatever.
All right. Congratulations on the performance Friday night and being Player of the Week.
All right, thank you.
You need to make progression, and I think that's going to happen with this program. And I'm not here to be a cheerleader. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You know it's tough right now. But I was down in the field before the game, and I was talking with a pretty influential Alabama alum, and who's very close to that program. And he said, and he was dead serious. He goes, "Damn, you guys got Dooley." He goes, "He's good. Our coaches say he's good." And I know there's a connection with Dooley and Saban, but you don't hear that kind of talk very often where the other staff is envious of the head coach at a program it's a rival of theirs. So I think that really speaks volumes about the guy you have over there now. I talked about optimism, and earlier this year, before the season started, I live in the Chicago area. I used to live in the West Coast, but I live in the Chicago area. And before the season starts, they have the Big Ten Media Day there. And so I'm sitting at the table with Joe Paterno. And Joe Paterno is, my God, he has to be 2,000 years old. and he's older than half the buildings at the Penn State campus. And I think he met God when God was a little kid. You know, but what I love about Joe Paterno is he's talking, he goes, "Well, I just got LASIK surgery." I mean, that's optimism when you get LASIK surgery. And so I remember that. You know, I just think back, here's Joe Paterno, and people are criticizing him again, and you know, it's been a semi-tough year for them. But I see the guys like Joe Paterno still just like, you know, I'll take you on. I don't care. I don't care how old I am. I don't care what our situation is. I'll take you on. And I see it over here. You know, we'll take you on. Yeah, we're going to get our butts kicked right now, and that's how it goes. We're going to play you hard. We're going to do what we can. We're not going to give up. And I ask you folks not to give up.
We'd love to have you join us at the Knoxville Quarterback Club. We meet every Monday during the fall at Calhoun's on the River. We honor high school football players and coaches and officials, and we hear great speakers every week. This year you'll hear everybody from Bobby Bowden to Lloyd Carr to Derek Dooley to the ESPN and CBS commentators. It's a lot of fun, great fellowship, and a ton of talk about football. Come join us. Look for information on how to join on the screen below. I look forward to seeing you there.
Here with our Defensive Player of the Week, Zach Scott from CAK. Zach, 10 tackles last week, an interception, and broke up 3 passes. He did a little bit of everything. Oh, are you peaking this late in the season, or how were you able to put up such big numbers?
Well, I would say the whole defense is peaking late in the season, and the offense has been rolling all season. Defense started out slow, but this last half of the season we're really starting to come on strong, and we knew they were going to pass a lot, so it gives an opportunity for the secondary to get a lot of tackles.
You guys are 9-0 for the second straight year. Great accomplishment there, but the big game with Alcoa just kind of looming all year. Are you finally excited to get that game week here and finally see what you got against those guys?
Oh yeah, it's always exciting. They're a great team. Record speaks for themselves, and it's always fun to go play them. Playing them on Thursday night this week, so there'll be even more people there than normal. And number 1 versus number 2 in the state. It's a huge game for us, and we'll see how we can compete with them.
All right, well, Zach, good luck on that game Thursday night, and congratulations on being Defensive Player of the Week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm going to leave you with a couple things. I'm going to read you some records. Baylor 4-8, 2009. Baylor 2010 6-2. They're ahead. They lead the South Division of the Big 12 right now. Syracuse 4-8 last year. This year 5-2. People were laughing at Syracuse a year ago. Michigan State, 6-7 last year. They're 8-0. Very good. Mississippi State, 5-7 last year. 6-2 right now. I mean, do you remember, there was a great story in the paper today, I think Mike Strange wrote it, about those hires made a few years ago. Gene Chizik at Auburn, Dan Mullen at Mississippi State, and how nobody really thought much of it. And I could give you a dozen other of those examples around the country. When these guys were hired, nobody, like, who? That's the best we could do? And now look at it. You know, it just takes a couple great players. It takes the support of the fans. It takes great facilities like this. Believe me, Tennessee recruits itself. And I know, and I've talked to, and I'm sure that the guys at that table there who play high school football know what matters. And a lot of what matters to recruits is, can I play right away? And I think you're going to get a chance to play at Tennessee right away right now. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's just the reality of the situation. But I think recruits are attracted to that. And anybody who walks in that stadium and they're playing Alabama, my ears are still ringing from that game. And that was great to see a sellout crowd. And it was great to hear that noise. And it was great to feel the energy. And you just know they're going to turn it around. So I ask you to hang in there with them. And I thank you for letting me talk to you all today. If you have a couple questions, I'd be happy to.
Questions.
Okay.